Okay. So this is a nice average level in this group, if I may say so. Not yet, but that's why you are here. That's why you are here, to become extraordinary. Okay. So this is, let's call it a framework. All right. So what do I see more?
The diverge, converge is also double diamond.
This is I call it a mindset to help. So the reason why you see these lines is to express our divergent thinking and convergent again, diverging and converging again. Inside can be like this as well. So that's about, can I zoom out? Can I zoom in? Can I do heads up? Can I do heads down? All right. So I am going to use this. Agile loves design thinking. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. Yeah.
Does this one work?
The ideas with fashion, patience, double diamond. Okay, double diamond, yes. So the two you see me doubting a little bit, but that's sometimes words try to cover our thoughts or emotions, and sometimes they don't overlap fully, and then I doubt. Anyhow, this is the problem zone, making this the solution zone. Solution zone. IDEO is one of the larger design companies, global companies, who have been introducing and applying design thinking to tackle hairy problems. So when Dr. Nilofer Christensen was telling about the mapping in cities as Jakarta, that's quite a hairy, wicked problem, isn't it? So one way is to use design thinking to tackle that. This is root problem. There is some search in this problem zone, and let me show with you. So it's a framework for innovation. This we call the problem zone. What we want to do here is discover what the problem is. But actually saying what is the problem is a little bit limited. What you want to know is what are the different perspectives on the problem. So actually the problem, how you see it, can be very different from how you see it. You need to know different perspectives on the problem, and that's the divergent thinking, makes you understanding how this problem has been created. So here we have discover, here we have defining stuff. I'll come to that later. Here you start to develop solutions or ideas, and here you deliver. So here you have chosen one solution to test, to try out in reality and learn from that and iterate, so actually going back in the process to see what else do I need to change. How does this process start? So I take Dr. Christensen's example. The lady in the car acts as if she's calling her mom because she doesn't feel safe. So that is the challenge, how to have safe trips in large cities as Jakarta, arriving home safely, feeling comfortable, and perhaps perhaps for a price that you can pay. So, you know, in that way, you can see there's a certain challenge. The formulation of the challenge makes us start and perhaps wanting to find a solution immediately. That's the mindset here. Now, what does design thinking do? And a lot of learners want to go there, but we keep you in this discover zone. So do we understand the problem enough? Have we been on these little scooters going through the alleys? Did we experience ourselves what it is if you can't find the number and the house? That's here. So with this discovery of the problem, you are patience. One of you said patience.
Good one.
Yeah, sometimes you need a little bit of patience. So, having different perspectives on the problem gives you choice. That's the converging. Choosing a way to describe the challenge again. So, here is the moment reframing it in a problem statement. Okay. When you are working in design thinking, there are a lot of tools. I saw a lot of tools here. So there are methods, creative workshops, using empathy. And what you make is called output. This flip over is an output of this session. Tomorrow, when you take this back to the office, then suddenly it becomes outcome. You take it to your team. And together, perhaps you decide to use this to approach a project differently. Then you're starting making impact. So the difference between output, outcome, and impact, if you see that clearly, you can use this methodology to do so. Okay, so there's a lot of output coming out. There's an outcome here at the end, and it could be different outcomes. I need a little bit more wool, and there is impact. More impact. Okay. Any questions until now? Not yet. Okay. Then I want you to know that there are some principles we follow. And the principles, let me see what it is. Yeah. Is people first. Let me put it here. People first. We communicate visually and inclusively. So the way how we are working here, I hope you feel it inclusively, and visual makes it easier than if I would do a vegetarian speaker keynote. Vegetarian keynote, I speak, you listen. I don't like it. Collaborate and co-create together. That is with the end user. So I can think of great ideas, great minds. But if I don't test it with end users, it's nothing. It's not going to be used. Perhaps you have this experience already, and iterate. So I show you later on the rhythm. While you're heading towards the end of a method or a stage, still you know you will iterate on it. So it's not a linear process. It goes more like this. And that's tricky part. If your mind wants you to, I see that goal and I want to go there and I see the line to go, design thinking makes you go, oh, I'll go back. Go, oh, no, not here. Okay, go back. You see? And that's can create feelings of frustration. Yeah. And that's why patience is so important.
We might want to have a bit less patience and a bit more speeding up.
Okay, we want speeding up. So there's divergent thinking.
Sorry!
There's divergent thinking. Convergent. And there is sense-making process. The patience, sense-making process is using your senses and then your brains. But first your senses. What did you see? What did you hear? How does it smell? What does it taste? How does it feel? So that is what I wanted to share with you. Let me see. Okay. Methods bank. I think you have used it too. Brainstorming, a lot of brainstorming. Cycles, I got it. Culture, system insights, visual, making visual. So all these zones have different methods to use. And I just simply show you some names. You go on the internet, you find a lot. So we have stakeholder mapping here, context mapping we usually do here, but we come back to it as well. Question storming, why are we doing this? We also do a lot of interviewing. There is persona mapping, thank you. Or even persona empathy mapping. There is customer journey mapping, emotional graph, something as investigative rehearsal. Who's heard of that? No, that is putting yourself in the shoes of the end user. So what Dr. Christensen did, she was doing investigative rehearsal. Being on the scooter, understanding and feeling what kind of problems she encounters, and more. Okay, so there are a lot of tools, right? And on this side, you've got the prototyping, you got storytelling. When you have an idea, I can tell you what the idea is. That's the rational part, isn't it? But if I put that idea in a story, she was talking about Joey and Rosanna, I think, in the very beginning. She gave you 6 different stories. That's because then you feel, I know Rosanna. I know what she did, how it feels to collect money for a university study. Magazine covers. So there's a lot of brainstorming. We got a method that's called ABC, flower association. This is about, again, work around your logical thinking. Work around your logical thinking. And that means we need forced fits. Forced fits. So we've got, let's say, Miriam has a mobile in her hand, and I have this, what's this called? A Swiffer? So can you make a mobile and a Swiffer as an idea to, of course, in this case, just a challenge, but to give you an impression, sometimes you put things together that don't make sense. That's beautiful. You work around the mind. So you got a lot of tools. All right. So where am I now? When you deliver, it means you're making a prototype, you're going outside again, getting the feedback, and you reiterate. Perhaps the idea wasn't so good. Choose another idea that you have seen during this brainstorm. Perhaps you realize in the research we overlooked something. We only have concentrated on male end users. We forgot children. So then you have to go back. That's the iteration. All right. Then I'm going to check with you any questions about the framework or things you have heard. No? I don't believe you.
You said so many things I would have questions about, like half of the stickers that you put in there about methods. they don't ring a bell immediately.
Okay.
But that might be too much.
No? So this floor is yours.